The holidays are when Americans consume more pies in 2 months than the entire rest of the year combined. The variety is amazing, from classic pumpkin to rich pecan, tart cherry, to creamy coconut, each one promising to be the perfect ending to your holiday feast. Some families still bake their own, but most of us grab a delectable treat from the freezer section, trusting that familiar brands will deliver the comfort and tradition our celebrations deserve. Today we're ranking 11 holiday pies from the absolute disasters that belong in the trash to the masterpieces that actually justify the calories. Because life's too short for terrible pie, and your holiday dessert table deserves better than cardboard crusts filled with calorie-packed chemicals. So pour yourself some coffee and let's slice into the truth about holiday pies. Sara Lee pumpkin pie represents everything wrong with corporate America's approach to holiday traditions. This isn't just bad pie. It's a systematic assault on the very concept of Thanksgiving dessert, packaged in wholesome branding that would make Norman Rockwell weep. Pumpkin pie became America's Thanksgiving staple through pure historical accident. The Pilgrims didn't eat pumpkin pie at the first Thanksgiving. They didn't even have wheat flour for crusts. But by the 1800s, American cooks had perfected the art of turning winter squash into creamy, spiced perfection that captured the essence of autumn in every bite. Sara Lee took this 200-year tradition and turned it into liquid disappointment. The filling doesn't set properly, creating what customers describe as pumpkin soup in a pie shell. The texture is so wrong that Sara Lee actually includes instructions on their packaging about why the pie might not work. When a company has to explain why their product fails, that's not quality control. That's systematic negligence. The spice blend is completely unbalanced, with cloves and nutmeg overpowering any actual pumpkin flavor. The crust tastes like salted cardboard, while the filling has an artificial sweetness that coats your mouth like liquid candy. Multiple Amazon reviews describe finding the pie completely liquid after thawing, creating a mess that's impossible to serve and embarrassing to explain to guests. Sara Lee was exploiting America's Thanksgiving traditions to sell families pie-shaped disappointment, betting that holiday desperation would overcome obvious quality failures. Key lime pie became Florida's signature dessert in the late 1800s when residents of the Keys created it using local ingredients that could survive without refrigeration. The original version used local key limes, which are smaller and more tart than regular limes, creating a distinctively sharp flavor that perfectly balanced the rich condensed milk filling. Edwards markets their frozen key lime pie as authentic Florida tradition, complete with tropical imagery and promises of real key lime flavor. The reality is an artificially flavored bomb that tastes more like lime-scented sugar than anything that ever grew in the Sunshine State. The filling is overwhelmingly sweet with artificial lime flavoring that burns your throat rather than providing the bright, tart contrast that makes real key lime pie special. The graham cracker crust is soggy and flavorless, while the whipped topping tastes like sweetened air with a chemical aftertaste. Edwards was also caught in a 2023 class action lawsuit for false "no preservatives" labeling, proving that their marketing claims are as artificial as their lime flavoring. When your key lime pie contains sodium citrate, a synthetic preservative, while claiming to be preservative-free, that's not just bad pie, that's consumer fraud. The worst part is that key lime pie isn't even a traditional holiday dessert. It's a summer treat that belongs on this list about as much as ice cream sandwiches belong at Thanksgiving dinner. Edwards was exploiting customers' desire for tropical escape during cold holiday months to sell them chemical-enhanced mediocrity disguised as Florida tradition. Blueberry pie has deep American roots, particularly in New England, where wild blueberries have been harvested since colonial times. The pie became a symbol of American summer abundance, with families picking berries together and turning them into cobblers and pies that captured the essence of the season. Banquet took this wholesome tradition and turned it into a frozen nightmare that would make a colonial baker question their life choices. At $2 to $4 per pie, it's positioned as the budget option for families who want dessert without breaking the bank, but sometimes cheap isn't just expensive, it's inedible. The blueberry filling is a mushy, purple mess that bears no resemblance to actual berries. The fruit pieces are indistinguishable from each other, creating a texture that's more like blueberry-flavored pudding than pie filling. The crust is flavorless and often soggy, while the overall taste is so bland that customers report needing to add sugar just to make it edible. Banquet's track record includes a 2007 salmonella outbreak that sickened 139 people across 30 states, proving that their quality control problems extend beyond just taste issues into actual food safety concerns. When your pie company has a body count, maybe it's time to reconsider your manufacturing processes. The brand represents everything wrong with corporate cost-cutting. They've stripped away everything that makes blueberry pie special while maintaining just enough berry flavor to legally call it blueberry pie. Cherry pie holds a special place in American mythology, supposedly favored by George Washington, though historians debate this claim. The dessert became associated with patriotism and American values, making it a popular choice for 4th of July celebrations and summer gatherings when cherries are in season. Edwards cherry pie promises orchard-fresh flavor with marketing imagery that suggests sun-ripened cherries picked at peak sweetness. The reality is an artificially flavored disaster that tastes more like cough syrup than fruit, with a filling so aggressively sweet it makes your teeth hurt. The cherry filling lacks any natural fruit complexity, tasting like someone dissolved cherry-flavored candy in corn syrup and called it pie filling. The artificial red color is so intense it stains everything it touches, while the texture is more like cherry-flavored Jell-O than actual fruit. The crust is adequate but unremarkable, serving mainly as a delivery system for the artificial cherry assault happening inside. Customer reviews consistently mention the overwhelming artificial flavor and cloying sweetness that makes it impossible to eat more than a few bites. Cherry pie isn't really a traditional holiday dessert. It's associated with summer, not Thanksgiving or Christmas. Yet somehow people still show up to Aunt Martha's house with this red-stained disaster, thinking they're contributing to the holiday spread when they're actually bringing July 4th leftovers to a November feast. Lemon meringue pie emerged in the 1800s as American cooks gained access to reliable lemon supplies and perfected meringue techniques. The dessert became associated with Easter and spring celebrations, representing renewal and the bright flavors that emerge after winter's heavy foods. Sara Lee's lemon meringue pie promises the perfect balance of tart lemon curd and fluffy meringue that makes this dessert special. Instead, they deliver a laboratory-created letdown that tastes more like lemon-scented cleaning products than actual citrus fruit. The lemon filling is overwhelmingly sweet with artificial lemon flavoring that completely overwhelms any natural tartness. The meringue is synthetically stabilized and tastes like sweetened foam, while the crust is generic and flavorless. The overall effect is like eating a lemon-flavored creamsicle rather than a sophisticated citrus dessert. The filling often weeps and separates during thawing, creating a watery mess that's impossible to serve properly. Multiple customer reviews mention finding pools of liquid at the bottom of the pie tin, suggesting that Sara Lee's manufacturing process can't handle the basic chemistry required for proper lemon curd. Lemon meringue pie requires precise technique to balance the tart filling with sweet meringue, skills that Sara Lee's industrial production clearly lacks. When your lemon pie tastes like artificial lemon flavoring mixed with sugar, you've missed the entire point of citrus dessert. Chocolate cream pie became popular in the 1950s as home refrigeration improved and families could safely store cream-based desserts. The pie represents post-war American prosperity, when families could afford rich ingredients and elaborate desserts that showcased abundance and sophistication. Edwards chocolate cream pie promises restaurant-quality indulgence with visual presentation that looks impressive, straight from the freezer. The two-tone layers and chocolate curls create a dessert that photographs beautifully and suggests serious chocolate craftsmanship. The reality is a triumph of marketing over substance. Taste of Home's blind taste test ranked this dead last among chocolate pies, noting that the excessive cream layer drowns out any chocolate flavor. The pie is only half chocolate, with the rest being flavorless whipped topping that adds nothing but visual appeal. The chocolate layer that does exist tastes artificial and overly sweet, lacking the rich complexity that makes good chocolate desserts satisfying. The crust is generic and forgettable, while the whipped topping tastes like sweetened air with a chemical aftertaste. Edwards created a pie that looks impressive but tastes like disappointment, proving that Instagram-worthy presentation can't compensate for fundamental flavor failures. When your chocolate pie doesn't taste like chocolate, you've failed at the most basic level. Edwards was exploiting customers' desire for impressive-looking desserts to sell them style over substance disappointment that looks better than it tastes. We are just getting to the good stuff, so subscribe and stick around to hear our #1 pick. Coconut cream pie cracked the top 5 on our holiday list. It emerged in the 1890s when improved shipping made dried coconut widely available across America. The dessert became associated with tropical luxury and exotic flavors, offering families a taste of paradise without leaving their dining rooms. Sara Lee's coconut creme pie promises tropical escape with generous coconut shreds and creamy filling that suggests beach vacations and palm trees. The visual presentation is appealing, with toasted coconut on top creating texture and authentic appearance. The coconut flavor starts strong, but quickly fades when combined with the cream and crust, creating a dessert that promises tropical paradise, but delivers suburban disappointment. The two middle layers fuse together into an indistinguishable mass, while the coconut distribution is uneven throughout the pie. All recipes noted that while the pie is truly solid, with perfectly toasty coconut, it ranked only number 6 out of 10 Sara Lee desserts, placing it firmly in mediocre territory. The crust is well cooked but chewy rather than crisp, while the overall flavor lacks the intensity needed to justify the tropical marketing. The pie delivers on coconut flavor initially, but fails to maintain that intensity throughout the eating experience, creating a dessert that starts promising but ends disappointing. Sara Lee was exploiting customers' desire for tropical escape to sell them coconut-flavored mediocrity that promises paradise, but delivers suburban disappointment. Edwards Signature's peach creme pie promises orchard-fresh peaches layered with rich cream in an innovative cookie crumb crust that suggests bakery-quality craftsmanship. The visual presentation is appealing, with distinct peach layers and whipped cream creating an impressive dessert that photographs beautifully. Peach pie emerged in late 1700s America, as European settlers discovered that peaches thrived in the New World climate. By the 1800s, cookbooks like Amelia Simmons's American Cookery featured peach pie recipes that celebrated summer's bounty, making it a symbol of American agricultural abundance and seasonal eating. YouTube taste tests praise the excellent peach flavor and unique cookie crust that tastes like actual cookies rather than generic pastry. The real peach layers provide authentic fruit flavor without chemical enhancement, while the cream component adds richness that balances the fruit's natural tartness. The cookie crumb crust is genuinely innovative, providing textural interest that sets this pie apart from standard pastry-crusted alternatives. Customer reviews consistently mention loving the crust's distinctive flavor and texture, proving that innovation can work when properly executed. The main criticism is excessive sweetness. Reviewers describe it as over-the-top sweet, with sugar levels that can overwhelm the natural peach flavors. The cream layer, while thick and stable, can be cloying for customers who prefer more balanced desserts. Peach pie isn't traditionally associated with holiday celebrations. It's a summer dessert that celebrates peak peach season rather than autumn or winter festivities. Yet every holiday season, some well-meaning relative shows up with peach pie thinking they're being creative with the dessert table, when really they're bringing August vibes to a December gathering. It's like that one family member who insists on wearing flip-flops to Christmas dinner, technically footwear, but completely missing the seasonal memo. Sweet potato pie represents one of America's most important culinary traditions, created by enslaved African Americans, who connected sweet potatoes to West African yams. The dessert became central to African American Thanksgiving celebrations, representing resilience, creativity, and cultural preservation through food. Marie Callender's sweet potato pie honors this 300-year tradition with genuine respect for the cultural significance and culinary craftsmanship that makes this dessert special. The pie uses real sweet potatoes rather than artificial flavoring, creating authentic flavor that connects to historical roots. The spice balance is sophisticated and restrained, allowing the natural sweetness of sweet potatoes to shine through without overwhelming artificial enhancement. The texture is smooth and creamy without being overly sweet, while the crust provides proper structural support without competing for attention. Sweet potato pie requires understanding of both technique and cultural significance. This isn't just dessert, it's edible history that deserves respectful treatment. Marie Callender's demonstrates that mass production can honor tradition when companies prioritize authenticity over cost-cutting. The pie represents growing recognition that sweet potato pie deserves equal status with pumpkin pie as essential holiday tradition, particularly as American dining becomes more inclusive of diverse cultural contributions. Marie Callender's was proving that corporate food production can honor cultural traditions when companies understand that some recipes carry historical significance beyond mere profit potential. Pecan pie originated in the American South during the 1800s, when abundant wild pecans provided affordable ingredients for creative cooks. The dessert became synonymous with Southern hospitality and holiday abundance, representing the region's agricultural wealth and culinary creativity. Marie Callender's pecan pie earned #1 ranking among frozen pecan pies by delivering everything that makes this dessert special: fresh-tasting pecans, proper caramelized filling, and buttery crust that doesn't compete with the star ingredients. The pecan quality is exceptional, with nuts that taste fresh rather than stale or rancid. The filling achieves the perfect balance between sweet and nutty, with brown sugar and molasses creating complex caramelized flavors rather than simple sweetness. The generous pecan distribution ensures every bite contains substantial nuts. The crust is buttery and flaky without being overly salty, providing proper foundation for the rich filling. The pie requires no baking, simply thaw and serve, making it convenient for busy holiday hosts who want homemade quality without homemade effort. Pecan pie represents Southern culinary excellence at its finest, combining simple ingredients into sophisticated dessert that showcases regional agricultural abundance. Marie Callender's demonstrates that frozen pies can achieve restaurant quality when companies prioritize ingredient quality over profit margins. Marie Callender's was proving that mass-produced pecan pie can honor Southern culinary traditions when companies understand that some desserts require genuine craftsmanship rather than industrial shortcuts. And our holiday pie champion is, of course, apple pie. It holds mythical status in American culture, though the dessert actually originated in medieval England rather than colonial America. The pie became associated with American values and prosperity, earning its place as the ultimate symbol of home, comfort, and national identity. Marie Callender's Dutch apple pie achieved the impossible, winning both Best Frozen Apple Pie and Best Overall Apple Pie categories in comprehensive taste tests, beating fresh bakery options in blind comparisons. This is frozen pie defeating artisanal competition on pure merit. The innovation lies in the separate streusel topping bag that gets added after baking, ensuring the crumb topping stays crispy rather than becoming soggy during freezing. The generous streusel amount creates perfect textural contrast with the tender apples and flaky crust. The apple filling uses real fruit that maintains proper texture rather than turning to mush, while the spicing is balanced and sophisticated. The crust bakes to golden perfection, providing structural integrity without overwhelming the fruit flavors. This pie proves that frozen desserts can achieve excellence when companies prioritize innovation and quality over cost-cutting. The streusel innovation alone demonstrates genuine problem-solving rather than marketing gimmicks. Marie Callender's shows that American apple pie perfection is possible through frozen production when companies understand that some traditions deserve genuine craftsmanship rather than corporate shortcuts. The holiday pie aisle is where family traditions meet corporate greed, and the results range from spectacular to spectacularly awful. Your holiday dessert table deserves better than processed flavoring disguised as seasonal comfort. Choose the pies that honor the traditions they represent, the ones using real ingredients, proper techniques, and genuine respect for culinary heritage. Your guests will taste the difference, and your holidays will be sweeter for it. Hit subscribe if you want more truth about what's really worth your holiday budget. And drop a comment about which pie ranking shocked you most. Until next time, keep celebrating smart and fighting the good fight against holiday food mediocrity.